These are some parents that deserve to get shamed. Welcome back to Am I
The Devil, where we decide if you're the devil
or an angel.
And remember, we're playing a game here. I have horns on, which may mean that I might play the devil's advocate. It does not mean that those opinions are my opinion. And similarly, Mike is playing the angel, which means he might try and see the good in people.
That's what I do.
My baby mama is being unreasonable about the name of our child. How can we co-parent? My baby mother is a selfish person. She cheated on her husband with me, destroyed a marriage, decided she wanted to keep the baby because abortion is a no, but cheating on your husband, soon to be ex-husband, absolutely. She's just a ridiculous, unserious person. Anyways, it's too late to go back, but we had our gender reveal and we're having a girl. #girldad. But we were discussing names and she's being disrespectful. I'm letting her pick the first name, but my mom's first name will be her middle name, and obviously she gets my last name. She said no, and that she might let our daughter have my last name. Just absolutely insane. Not sure how I can co-parent with a person like this. You're not together, so I don't really think the whole last name thing works here.
Maybe one day if you guys do get married, have that conversation. But right now, she's not your wife.
I don't really think that you have too much say here. And just because your child doesn't have your last name, I don't understand why she's trying to keep with the family tradition, why you want her to keep with the family tradition if she's not your family.
Also the disclaimer in the beginning of being like, by the way, she cheated on her husband for me, which is crazy. It's why was that necessary?
It takes two to tango, am I right?
Yeah, buddy. You knew she was married and you still wanted that forbidden fruit.
Yeah.
Partake of my forbidden fruit.
You don't really seem like you're interested in marrying this person. You don't have a lot of nice things to say about her. So I think that we need to be okay with the fact that she doesn't have your last name and she's not carrying on these family traditions. I don't really see why this is a hill that you're willing to die on, honestly.
I have one rule. I'm going to be such a good parent, but you must take my name.
If you guys were together, then that would be one thing, but she's your baby mama, not your wife. Some additional info. OP had a girlfriend that he cheated on, but he swears he wouldn't cheat on a spouse because it's a whole other level of commitment. Whatever that means, he also knew she was married. Important to note, it's not just her fault. Let's not just make her out to be this horrible person, which is kind of what you're doing to get people on your side, honestly. You can co-parent, you just kind of need to get over this very strange hill that you're willing to die on here.
It's my baby. It gets my name, you understand?
It doesn't really work like that, honestly. So first comment says, you've made previous comments about how you're obviously not marrying this woman, which is fine, that's not required, but if I was in her shoes, I would not give the baby the last name of some dude that could be gone 2 weeks after she's born. Clock it. OP responds, we don't need to be together to co-parent. I'm going to be in my daughter's life because it's the right thing to do. I mean, she doesn't know that, though. You could decide that you're not going to be later on.
She's stuck with that name.
Yeah, literally.
I guess you could always change your name, but still.
But still, I don't know. Until you marry a person, I wouldn't give someone, my child, the man's last name. She doesn't have to worry about me leaving. That is not the type of person I am, but you also haven't had the child yet. It's difficult to know that. No one can read the future, you know? She's immature and takes zero accountability is how we ended up in this mess in the first place. No, you are both immature and take zero accountability. Condoms have existed for a long, long, long time. Congrats on becoming a dad, literally. OP said, you're right, I was dumb and I listened to her when she said she knows when she's ovulating. She clearly didn't. I'm taking accountability for my actions, but she isn't. No, you're not. You also participated in cheating. You also participated in an act that resulted in a child.
You are equally culpable here.
Yes.
Stop trying to escape from accountability, okay? Yeah. Enough.
You both kind of suck, honestly. At the end of the day, if it's about the name thing, I think that you need to let that one go. Unless you're willing to marry her and set your differences aside. It's something that's discussed. Let's stop going on the internet and saying mean things about your baby mama. I think that that's goes without saying. The way that you're talking about her is not a healthy way to start a co-parenting relationship, I would think. Interesting comment. If you aren't married, the person that carries the baby for 9 months should be in charge of the surname. The baby should have hers, not yours. The most you get to ask for is to double barrel it. In general, if you're not marrying each other, I think that it's the mom's choice. That's just how I feel. How you co-parent, stop talking badly about our baby mama. Let's take a little accountability here and let's not die on the hill, the name hill, because at the end of the day, it's
you're gonna love the baby regardless.
Yeah.
So what does it matter?
Maybe there could be a time in the future where you guys work things out and she could give him the middle name or something like that. As of right now, it doesn't really sound like you guys have the best relationship, so I wouldn't want to name my child after anything associated with you. So are you the devil?
I think he's a purg candidate. I think
Yeah,
he should be in purg.
purgatory.
You're a bad
candidate.
guy. Like, you're going to be there. You're going to help raise the baby, allegedly.
I mean, I don't like how he's talking about his baby mama.
Purgatory.
Am I the a-hole for going on a family trip right after without my daughter who started college? I, 52 male, just got off the phone with my daughter, 18 female, and I think I made her cry. I feel bad, but I also don't understand exactly why. Any advice would be appreciated. A few months ago, I began planning a surprise trip for my wife's 50th this October. I thought it would be a perfect time for a little getaway as we've been raising children together for the past 20 years and haven't had much alone time. My oldest, 20 female, has been in college for a few years now, and this year my middle child just left the nest for college too. This leaves just my youngest, 15 male, at home, and I figured it would be okay to leave him to fend for himself for a bit. I don't know if that's legal.
How old is he, sorry?
15?
There no babysitter?
Fend for himself, though. I don't think that's legal. I think like maybe for a night, but like not for an extended period of time. I think like if you're looking at a babysitting situation where the parents go out for dinner or something, then yes, like 15, I feel like, or 16 is fine, but not for an extended period of time. The issue started when I decided where we would be going. My wife has been wanting to visit Portugal for a long time, so I thought that would be the natural choice. But my middle daughter also expressed a desire to go to Portugal in the past, to the point where her and my wife discussed taking the trip together. I figured that going on a trip without my daughter would be okay, since this is just a week-long thing between my wife and I. About a week ago, I decided I couldn't keep the trip a secret anymore, so I told my youngest about it. He told me he would not be comfortable staying at home alone for a week. And after some consideration, I decided it would be okay if he came along too. I don't want him to be left alone for so long, and I think it might be nice to get him some travel experience. I managed to convince him to keep the trip a secret from his mother, but not from my oldest. I hadn't told my oldest prior because she has a very busy schedule. But upon learning about the trip, she managed to take the entire week off work, which is practically a miracle. I, of course, said she could come along too, and this is a rare opportunity. This, unfortunately, means the only person in the family not coming is my middle daughter, who is the one who really wanted to go to Portugal.
Us middle children, you know? We always get the short end of the stick.
Kind of sounds like you're playing favorites a little bit. Why is that even an option? Like, it's very clear that this is a family trip now. So I called her and told her about the trip. I didn't expect her to take it well, but she took it really not well. Once I filled her in on all the details, she got really quiet, and I think she started crying before wordlessly hanging up the call. I think that when you're a parent, it's either all the kids can come as a family trip or none of them can come, unless it's a situation where it's like, oh, it's one of their birthdays or something. Afterwards, I was worried she was going to tell her mom about the incident, which I cannot have. I really want to surprise her with this. And so to remind my daughter that it's a secret, I messaged her and said, good to chat. Again, it's a surprise, so don't mention to mom. Love you. The trip is happening right before her midterms week, and she's out of the state, so there's really no way she could come along. I just hope she'll come to her senses and calm down, as at this point, there's really nothing to do. I expected more emotional maturity out of her, I guess.
It's one of two things. You're not allowed to come because you have midterms, or you can't come because you have midterms.
If that's the case, it's not fair to her that the rest of her siblings are going without her. At this point, it's like, get a babysitter for the younger kid, and that's it. Just go on the trip with your wife. I don't think that it's fair to like exclude your kid. It sounds like she genuinely can't go and she really did want to go at some point. Maybe it's like, couldn't you have taken your wife somewhere other than the child wanted to go? I don't know.
Why did you book it that week?
It's their anniversary, I guess. This is a tough one, honestly. I think she's being a bit of a spoiled brat, but I also understand that something like this could really ruin our relationship. And that's the last thing I want. What should I do? I feel like she feels left out. I wouldn't necessarily call her a spoiled brat. You're going on a trip to a place where she genuinely really wanted to go, somewhere that you wouldn't even really be as excited to go to if it weren't for her because of how much she's talked about it. And you're taking everyone in the family except her.
She's all right to be upset. Feel like if she can't go, she can't go.
I feel like there's a way to make it up to her when she's done college or something. You could say, hey, like if you want to go to Portugal or you want to go have a trip there, as a present, when you're done college, I will send you to Portugal.
Yeah, next summer when you're done this year, after your exams, you can go.
Yeah,
and you can go with a friend or something
You know,
like
all
that.
expenses paid by daddy or whatever. Like I'll pay for your flights and your hotel or whatever, and then you'll get a chance to go to Portugal too.
But missing like the family trip is tough. I think like what he should have done was found a babysitter and just said, no, this is just for the
parents. You know what I mean? I think that the daughter has a right to be upset. I don't
think so
she's
too.
being a spoiled brat. Comment says, you're the a-hole. Why is she a spoiled brat? Because she had feelings. You didn't say she yelled at you or she spoiled the surprise. She silently cried and hung up so she could deal with her emotions on her own. Because God knows she couldn't work through it with you. It's horrifying that you can display such insensitivity for a kid who has just left the nest, only for the nest to reunite for her dream trip without her, and then insult her on top of it. Have some shame. That's a hard take. There are some people in the comments who said the only thing he did wrong was take the younger kid instead of telling him to stay home and grow up a little.
Or find a babysitter.
I don't know if I agree with this, but it said, kid absolutely faked being scared to get to go on the trip. A 15-year-old can stay home for a week by himself. I don't know if that's like legally allowed, honestly. I feel like it's too young
it's
to
a bit of
be
a
at
stretch.
home. I don't think it's normal
stretch
to leave a kid alone for a week by himself. My son wasn't comfortable being left by himself, so we arranged for a family member to come and stay with him. Problem solved. Either cancel the trip or delete the favorite children out of it.
It's not about favorite children.
Yeah, I think, see, the thing is this, Mike has a big family. I've even seen where, some kids go on trips without the other kids. Everybody kind of gets a turn. But the point is that everybody gets a turn, right?
Yeah, so as long as they make up, maybe they don't go on many vacations. Maybe that's why. I'm not sure.
My whole family's going on holiday without my middle child to the one place she's always wanted to go. Why is she so upset? A lot of people are saying he's the a-hole because he's going to the one place his one child that really wanted to go can't go. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this and how you would handle this situation. Are you the devil? I kind of think he's a bit of a jerk still.
I don't like the way he was talking about her.
Yeah.
I think he's upset at the situation and he's has this misguided anger and frustration because he wants everyone to be there and plan this whole trip. And he has this surprise. He doesn't want her to ruin it. I just think he's misguiding his anger towards her. And for that, I don't think he deserves to be up near with me. I don't think he's a bad person. I think you got to find a babysitter, tell your other daughter to keep working and go on this trip with your wife. If you're going to bring your two other kids, find a way to make it up to her.
I don't think he's the devil. There's ones that we read that are just wow, this is horrible. Did he handle the situation poorly? Yes. Is he a devil for that? No. He might be a bit of an a-hole, but not the devil.
My mom has called me a brat a lot.
Yeah.
And I am. When my mom says something to me, what do I say? No.
He literally says that. No. That is literally the brattiest thing you could
Mike,
say.
can you do this? No.
Okay, so what did we decide?
I think Purg.
I feel he has some redeeming qualities. He didn't do something overtly terrible. He's kind of a jerk, but not the devil.
Yeah, I don't think he's a devil, yeah. So does that mean he comes with me?
It means he goes to Purg, I think.
Purg, yeah. We have a couple Purgs.
A couple Purgs. Am I the a-hole for wanting my stepdaughter to share with my kids? Very long, but I'm conflicted. I, 48 male, married my wife, 43 female, 6 years ago. L has a daughter, S, 17 female, with her ex, M. And I have two daughters, T and B, 16 and 15. S and I, his stepdaughter, aren't very close, but L is like a mother to my girls. S has not really gotten along with my kids, but they'll adjust. His wife and her ex share custody, so S spends weekends and school breaks with M. There's a lot of letters and numbers. He is very well off, I think almost 7 or 8 figures. When my stepdaughter turned 17, her dad made a deal in which he co-signed and paid insurance and a down payment for a used Audi, as long as S paid monthly payments, maintenance, and gas. Why did I think this had to do with a car?
Because it always does. 8 figs? Come on now.
S has been working 2 part-time jobs and she is able to do it. Her dad drew up a contract and asked L and I to sign it as witnesses. She now has an Audi to use as she needs. My kids, T and B, have been a little unsettled since S got her car and have been pestering me about getting a car for them because T also has her license. Our family's well off, but not as rich as M. T has been asking to drive S's car just to try it out. And S has said no every time, going as far as locking her keys in a safe in her room. So she's really not okay with it, eh? To stop the chaos, I have told S not to drive when she's visiting us unless absolutely necessary so she doesn't flaunt her luxury in front of my daughters. Oh my lord.
Audi first car, huh?
S has been visiting L more during the summer because she spent more time at her father's house due to remote learning. B just got her learner's permit and I've been teaching her because I'm working from home and have time. My family has 2 cars and I've been teaching B in mine. Since S came home 2 weeks ago, my kids have restarted pestering to buy another car. B has also been asking if I can teach her in the Audi because it's different. S repeatedly said no. Last week, I relented and told S to give me her keys so I could teach B. Why? That's her car. Can't you just say no to your kids? You need to be able to teach them that they can't have everything that they want. That is something that your stepdaughter earned. And if she's not okay with it, leave her alone. S said no again, and I told her that as long as she was part of my family, she would have to share the family's belongings. Absolutely not. Nope, nope, nope.
That's not yours.
She worked for that. She has 2 part-time jobs and goes to school. That's her car. She then started screaming at me that it was her car because she was paying for it. Yeah, it would be one thing if you bought her the car, but you literally did not.
Yeah, and
she paid for her own car. You're teaching someone how to drive on that car, someone who doesn't know how to drive. That car is probably your stepdaughter's prized possession, something that she worked very, very hard for. That's literally a liability, okay? If someone is not comfortable letting someone learn on their prized possession, she has every right to feel that way. Stop smiling. I know you're laughing. I don't have a license.
No, I was just thinking about all our driving lessons lately.
I'm getting better. I'm taking driving lessons, but still, I would not be like,
Hey, can I borrow your Porsche to like go practice my U-turns? You know what I mean?
like, what? B started crying and T called Sarah a selfish B. S kept talking about how she was paying for everything for the car and nobody else could drive it because no one else was insured for that car. She has a point. What if something happens to that car? You're literally stating that
Putting
you
her
don't...
in a weird position, you know? It's
Yeah, this
like,
is a really bad position.
obviously you're not going to crash the car if you drive on the street. That's not the point.
But it's also the point because you're not going to pay for that car if something happens to it. You're not even willing to pay to get your daughters a car. She would get in trouble for that. I told her that she would have to share because T and B were her family or she would be grounded. S yelled at me again and told me I wasn't her parent. L was mostly taking S's side and I'm still angry that she wasn't supporting me or my daughters. Yeah, because you're being very unreasonable.
Authoritarian.
It also kind of seems like you're also jealous of your stepdaughter's car. S packed up and left for her father's immediately. 3 days ago, L got notice that M is filing for full custody. L is beside herself. I called S and I told her that she was ruining her family and that she should apologize to her mother and I. If anyone should apologize, it's you, dude. She was sniffling the whole time, and then I hear M take the phone and tell me that we need to see each other in court.
Oh boy, this is getting messy.
Honestly, I don't blame him. Elle is angry at me for making her lose her daughter, but I still feel like S was being disrespectful under my roof. A kid refusing to do something because you're in the wrong is not being disrespectful. You can't just tell your kid to like go steal something and then say that if she doesn't want to do it, then she's being disrespectful. You're wrong in this situation. You are. S is also in the right about insurance. The insurance thing is very valid.
It's very valid, yeah.
It would be one thing if your daughter knew how to drive, your kid knew how to drive, but she doesn't. Now, the fact that S has a safe in her room tells me that this isn't the first time her stepsisters have tried to get something of hers that she doesn't want them to have, and that the dad has always been on their side. Yeah, you kind of sound like an evil stepfather, honestly.
Kind of do, actually.
Yeah, this is horrible. He's actually sabotaged his wife custody and doesn't see it as an issue. This is nuts. Flaunt her luxury and it's a used car that she's paying for. This is where I feel like I'm valid in saying that stepdad is also jealous of the car.
Of course, yeah. He's living with these daughters who see their stepsister get all this like love and like gifts from her dad, and he can't provide the same things
Yeah, totally.
to them.
This whole flaunt her luxury thing. What do you mean luxury? It's a used car that she paid for working 2 jobs and going to school. I feel like that's not like luxury. I feel like that's a really good lesson to teach your kids about the value of $1 and the value of hard work. If your kids want a car, maybe they need to fucking go get a job or 2 and earn it. A 15-year-old crying because she can't borrow her 17-year-old step sibling's car is really embarrassing. Like, that's super spoiled. She does have cars to learn on. She just wants to drive the nice car. I don't really see any mention of OP's bio kids working, only asking for a car to be bought outright or to use the stepkid's car. They're all entitled. Yeah, I agree. I feel like you're super entitled. Your kids are entitled. I feel like you need to teach your kids, if they want something, they need to work for it.
Yeah, you're not going to be given everything in life.
So, are you the devil?
You're a pretty demonic little individual.
You're pretty awful,
I'm actually going to
honestly.
push you past purgatory. You're going to level -7.
I do feel like you are being pretty much case in point evil step parent. You're being very entitled. You're teaching your kids very bad life lessons that they can have whatever they want and sabotaging your wife's relationship with her daughter, and you're not taking any responsibility for it. So that's pretty awful, I have to say. You are definitely
The devil here.
How do I get my 35 male stepdaughter, 14 female, to talk to me? I have been in my stepdaughter's life for 8 years. I love her dearly. Her dad has been MIA, unfortunately, and is not a good person. So I'm the father figure in her life. She calls me dad and everything. I go to all her dance events and her clarinet stuff. Recently, my wife and I had a daughter. It's my first kid that is mine, and I love her dearly, and I love being a dad. I want 2 more, lol. But I need to convince the wife. I had my friend over for dinner, and at dinner, they asked how is having a newborn. I told him amazing, that I never realized I could love something so much. That I love her more than anything in the world, even more than my wife, but it's close. I was thinking, but everyone got quiet, and I realized why now. So fast forward a few days, and my stepdaughter asked me if I loved her.
That's tough.
I was taken aback and said, of course. She brought up my comment at dinner and said that it made her feel like I love my biological kid more than her. I mean, we gotta be a little careful with our words. Like, it might be true.
Especially around kids.
Yeah. Imagine hearing that, like, oh my God, like, I love this thing more than anything else in the world. Okay, so, like, what about me? Like, she's probably already feeling a little displaced because she's losing some attention, right? You have a baby now. That might have reinforced some of the fears that she has. I told her the truth because I thought she was mature enough to handle it, but she didn't. I said,
Oh no, he didn't. He said it?
I do love my biological child more than you, but I love her deeply.
Oh my gosh. What are you doing? She's 14.
It doesn't matter if she's old enough to know the truth. Like, I would be so devastated to find out that my parent loved my brother more than me. Even if it's like a biological versus favoritism thing, nobody wants to know that their parent loves or someone else more than them.
Do you think parents have favorites?
For sure. I think they do, but you never say them out loud. I think that parents can have favorites. Obviously, you know, there's things like daddy's girl, mama's boy, stuff like that. But it's something that's kind of like, it's a little unspoken. You know what I mean?
Kind of a strange thing to say.
It is very strange. I really don't
to
think
say
we
it
should
at a
have
dinner
said that.
table in front of a bunch of adults, just like as a joke.
And to reaffirm that in front of her.
Yeah, no, I actually do love her more than you.
Also, like a kid who's growing up, going through puberty, like trying to understand emotions, adult emotions, and she hears that. And she probably had that doubt in her mind because she's being raised by a stepdad.
Yeah, totally.
Like, do you love me? Like, man,
Yeah,
that's so horrible.
I told her she would understand when she has her own kids, but there's something about seeing a child that's yours. She just got quiet and said she had to do homework, but I don't think she handled it well. That's because you were a jerk. She's been ignoring me and everything. She passively talks to me, but I asked her if she wanted to go get food when I picked her up from practice today, and she said no. It's stuff like that. I just get one-word answers from her.
She's hurt. She isn't old enough to
She
comprehend.
probably loved you so much, and that probably hurt her so much.
That parent pedestal that we put our parents on, like you just knocked one of the legs off and you fell well to the ground.
Okay.
That's really sad. Honestly, that makes me really sad.
It is very sad. I feel very sad for her. Ugh. Wow, good luck repairing your relationship. You effed up big time. OP responds, what was I supposed to do? She put me in a terrible position. Either lie or tell the truth.
Lie!
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 Like, literally lie. What the lie? For sakes, she's a 14-year-old girl, and you just told her you don't love her as much as her sibling. There's a good chance your relationship will never recover.
Even if you said, like, it's not more, it's just a different love, even that's better.
Even that's better than saying, I love her more than you. I love
you
my
say
biological
I love all
child.
my kids equally.
That's your go-to.
That's
I
it.
love all my kids equally.
Repeat
I
after
don't have
me.
favorites.
I love all my children equally.
Literally, every parent ever has said that. You have hurt her deeply. I can't believe you did that. Your relationship may never be the same. OP responds, I was out in a difficult position with her asking that. It was either lie or tell the truth, but I do love her deeply, and that's the important thing. Sometimes lies are needed. Sometimes in situations, you know, like this one, even if you feel a certain way, you lie to keep the peace. My friend, it's called a white lie. That's why these things exist, okay? I honestly think that you're, without a doubt, belong down here with me. What do you think?
You are the devil.
You are the devil.
And with that, I think that's all for today. Siska!